Hey everybody, Seth Campbell here with the new Segue Says podcast. Well, this week we have two love songs, as is appropriate with Valentine's Day coming up, and it's also our 99th episode, as unbelievable as that is. Now, seeing as it's the 99th episode, and Toto is one of the most frequently appearing artists in this podcast, how could we be doing anything else but Toto's 99? And I confess this time I specifically wrote this segue for this podcast because I wasn't going to miss an opportunity to have 99 as the lead song in the 99th episode. And I actually found a really cool segue with a song called How Can I Make You Happy by Will Dailey, thus making his fourth appearance, I believe, in this podcast. Now, the two songs are fairly straightforward lyrically. 99 is, the band is the first to admit, it's one of their cheesier songs, admittedly, but it actually has an interesting backstory to it. It's inspired by an obscure science fiction film called THX 1138. There was actually, I believe, if the research I've done is correct, the first feature film that George Lucas ever directed. It's mixed reviews. It's very weird, sort of future dystopian thing. Never exactly been considered one of the great movies of our time, but one essential principle of it is that people have numbers as opposed to names, letter number combinations, but essentially, serial numbers basically, as opposed to names, and things like love and emotion and concepts of family and connection are outlawed in the name of productivity and profit. So this is a song, basically it's a love song to someone, from someone to someone, neither of whom have their own identity, if you will. And the original version is very straightforward pop, but there's a version on 35th Anniversary Live in Poland that's about as close to Toto Unplugged as the band has ever gotten. Simon Phillips is on the drums. He sort of reworked the groove. David Page's piano is much more flowing. And personally, I love that version. And so that's the way I'm going to be playing it. And the verses are very short, so I'm going to give you two verses and a chorus. It's a verse refrain. So two verse refrains and a bridge just to give you the full picture. It starts in A flat minor, and that will become important later. I keep breaking your heart. Oh, 99, how can we be apart? Oh, 99, I love you. 99, I've been waiting so long. Oh, 99, where did we go wrong? Oh, 99, I love you. I never thought it would happen, feel quite the same. I don't want to hurt you anymore. I never knew it would work out, no one to blame. You know I love you, 99. 99. That's the next verse. So it's pretty much a simple descending pattern that ends on the major one as opposed to the minor one where it starts. And then essentially this circle of fifths type of thing. So I mean, it's not quite circle of fifths, but it's a simple enough progression in the chorus. But the important part of this song is that it modulates and goes up to B flat minor. The last bridge and verse is in B flat minor, and then it jams out on B flat minor and fades out on the original recording, and there's an ending in the live version that I'm going to talk about in a moment because that's what we're going to use. Now, this is the much older of the two songs. It's from the Hydra album, I believe, of 1979, I want to say. And, of course, Will Dailey's song, How Can I Make You Happy, is much more recent. It's from Torrent Volume 2 by the Blue Hills, which can now be found in the, essentially, single full-length album, Fashion of Distraction / by the Blue Hills, a.k.a. Torrent Volume 1 and 2. It's a long story, but it's out there. You can find it, trust me. And it's, I mean, lyrically very self-explanatory. It's a love song to someone that the singer is having a little trouble connecting with or getting through to, basically saying, what can I do? How can I make you happy? How can I, what do you need from me to make this better, to make this work? And it's a song I've loved since I first heard it on the acoustic mixtape review tour, which was the Brew, Audrey Ryan, and Will Dailey. We were all playing together. And so the song has a very special place in my heart because it evokes memories of that 4-day run, which is one of the greatest times of my entire life. It goes something like this, and it's in the key of D-flat major, which is, of course, the relative major of B-flat minor for those paying attention. That will be important. But it goes something like this. On your mark, get ready, set. At the sound of the gun, we are running out the door. Saturday, it passed by, never spoke a word. We shuffle around the room, but our eyes, they never met. I wish they were afraid they will. What if they don't? The more that I worry, the less I seem to know. So on your mark, get ready, set. At the sound of a gun, we are running out the door. Into these strange days, I know I won't lose you now. Even as we change, still I know I won't lose you now. How can I make you happy? How can I make you happy? And it's the second verse. So it's a very uplifting and emotionally imploring song, and I absolutely love it. So, as you can hear, these two songs don't really sound that similar. So this is going to be one of those pivot segues where we land on a point of commonality and turn. Now, you'll notice this song begins with a G-flat major 7 chord. It's the 4 chord. And does the little partial pre-chorus. Or essentially, it's a pre-chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. What I just played. It was a little unusual, but it's really cool. Now, the way 99 ends, like I said on the original record, it fades out. In the Absolutely Live record, it's part of like an acoustic medley. It goes into something else. But on the 35th Anniversary Live in Poland record, there's an instrumental piece it's the only previously unreleased song on that record called The Muse that we'll actually be seeing sometime in the future of this podcast, that somehow links 99 to the hard rocker in A minor, White Sister. But the most important thing is that it begins on this same chord, this G-flat major 7. And the way that happens is it just replaces the 1 major, the B-flat major at the end of the phrase, with what is the flat 6 chord in the case of 99 and is the 4 chord in the case of How Can I Make You Happy. So it sounds something like this. There's sort of a jam and there's vocal improvisation and synthesizers. This is the Muse, which is also in the relative major of D flat. And the Muse is just one of the most beautiful instrumental pieces of pop music you'll ever hear. Thank you, David Page. But rather than start the Muse on this chord, it's easier to just hold it and let the vocals of the pre-chorus of How Can I Make You Happy kick in, because that's how it starts anyway. So basically it would be something like this. You've had your last verse. 99, I can't take it no more. Oh, 99, oh, we were so sure. Oh, 99, I love you. And you probably go through this progression a few more times for the jam of it. On your mark, get ready, set, hit the sound of a gun. We are running out the door. Saturday passed by, never spoke a word. We shuffle around the room, but our eyes ain't never met. Wish the world afraid that we'll if the door. The more that I worry, the less I seem to know. And because this song has such a strong groove in the left hand, this ba 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 ba, it makes the slightly abrupt transition disappear from people's minds correctly, because you establish the new rhythm fairly soon. And there you have it, a short, quick segue to fairly straightforward love songs, just in time for Valentine's Day, and especially appropriate for the 99th episode. The 99th episode. So that means that next week's episode is going to be the 100th Segue Says podcast. And boy, have I got plans to celebrate. So I certainly hope you will tune in to see how that goes, because it is going to be one of a kind, at least one of a kind to date. We'll see how things go in the future. But thanks as always for watching. Hope you learned something. Thanks for sticking with me this long. And I can't wait to see you next week.